Last year, I launched a business and it lost me £40,000. But I'm so glad that it happened, and in this video I want to explain to you why I'm happy that it happened and what I'm doing about it. It was early 2022 when I decided that I wanted to start and launch my very own online estate agency in the UK. Having run a property sourcing business for a while, I thought it was about time I expanded, and the only real way that I saw myself being able to do that was by turning my buyer-focused business into a seller-focused business and start to scale beyond my wildest dreams. So let me explain where I went wrong and the lessons that I learned, because maybe to your surprise, I'm launching that business all over again.
Well, he's lost his mind.
Now, to wind it back a little bit, the concept behind this business was that I wanted to launch an online estate agency that covered the whole of the UK. It wasn't limited by any one particular location. I wanted the service to rival those of Purple Bricks and Yopa and companies like that, because I'd experienced their services before and was pretty unimpressed and thought I could definitely do a better job. And I might go into more detail in another video later down the line as to exactly how I implemented this and how I started it and how we actually made a good amount of money before it slowly started to tank. So I want to just explain three main things as to why I believe the business failed. Number one, we went too broad too soon. I think it's safe to say that in any business, you want to niche down in the first place, dominate a particular market, dominate a particular product or location or customer base, and then expand from there. For me, I went way too broad, way soon. As you know, these kind of online estate agencies have millions and millions of pounds backing them, funding them, paying for advertising, and we just did not have that. And so by going so broad, we ended up, selling houses down in London, we were selling houses in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Newcastle, and we were having a bit of an impact in a lot of places, so people didn't really get to know who we were or get to know our brand. We went way too broad, way too soon. The next reason why I think it failed was it was a sudden change in the service that I was offering. So rather than saying I'm going to keep my sourcing business where we're going to be helping investors, I kind of parked that for 6 months, almost a year, where I just said, I'm not going to be working on this anymore. I'm just going to work on this estate agency business. And the better approach would have been to invest more into that or maybe do a slight pivot. But I totally changed up the whole service that I was offering. And as I said, I went and became much more seller focused than I was buyer focused. And so that for me was one of the reasons why I felt like the business didn't quite work out. The third reason was that there was actually a lack in expertise within my team. Whilst sourcing businesses are similar in the way they operate to estate agencies, I'd never operated in an estate agency before. I've worked with estate agents, but never worked as an estate agent. And in my team that I had with me, nobody had experience with running an estate agency, which was, for me, probably one of, if not the biggest flaw in the whole business model. Now, I know the business failed, but I'm actually really, really happy, and that probably throws a few people, and you may be wondering why, and I wanted to expand on why that is. The first reason is because I learned so many lessons about myself. So I realized that for a lot of people, when I looked at it and I looked at other businesses and I looked at, more importantly, other business owners that were successful, the difference between the people that were successful and the people that weren't were the people who, when things failed, they carried on going, they kept on pushing through, and they kept on taking action. And for me, yes, the business failed, yes, it didn't work out, and it didn't work out how I wanted it to, but I learned so much about myself that I was able to carry on, keep pushing on, and I'm here today still running a very successful business. And like I said, we're going all over again because I've learned so much in this process that I'm 100% confident that we're going to be able to go again and be even more successful than before. The second reason is that I've actually learned so many lessons about my business. And so the business that I was in, like I said, when I started, I didn't have a whole lot of experience. There wasn't a whole lot of expertise around me. There was things that I just did not know. And having gone through that process, yes, we lost money, but I learned so much about that business, about that industry, about how people operate, about the best ways to market, a load of different things, and maybe I can expand on them in a later video, but I learned so many lessons about that particular business, about this industry, that gives me the confidence to be able to go again. Another reason why I'm happy is I know £40,000 is a lot of money, but I'm glad that we lost it when we did, because that £40,000 could have been a lot more. If we'd propped up the business with finance, if we carried on going for another year, 2 years, then that £40,000 would have been so much more, and it would have been such a bigger loss than it was. And so I'm just glad we lost it when we did. That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So we are moving forward with the right infrastructure in place, with the right team in place, and I'm 100% confident that we're going to be able to make a success of this business. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't 100% certain, if I wasn't 100% confident. And here's how we're going to be moving forward differently. Firstly, we're not going to go too broad too soon. We're going to keep it narrow. We're keeping ourselves concentrated on a particular area. Our primary focus is going to be Manchester. We already have a few bits and pieces around the Northwest, but our primary focus is going to be in Manchester, and we're going to start dominating that one area, dominating that one location, and then start to expand out from there. We've got the right expertise in place this time. Me and a business partner have joint ventured on this, and we are bringing on board people who have the best experience, some of the most incredible experience of coming into an estate agency and growing it to multiple branches, multiple sites. We've got those people in. They are going to be running the show. We're going to be providing some outside support. We're going to be providing any kind of help that's needed, but the people that are going to be on the ground, that are going to be involved in the day-to-day running, are going to be highly experienced, some of the best experienced people in the property industry, in the estate agency world. I'm also not going to be neglecting my sourcing business. I'm not, like last time, I completely just dropped everything and went 100% down the estate agency route. Now, being able to employ a CEO, someone who's going to be on the ground and operating and running the whole thing, means that I still can continue to run my sourcing business, helping investors build their portfolio. So I'm not going to be dropping one thing to pick up another. It's something that we're going to be able to manage together in a much more sustainable way. I'm just really excited to launch this business again. The people that we've got on board, the team that are available, my business partners that are involved in this, I just think it's going to be, one, really good fun, but two, we're going to be able to offer some of the best services out there, and I just can't wait to see how it goes. So, I mean, if you're interested in selling a property, if you're in Manchester, if you're in the Northwest, make sure you get in touch. I'll leave a link in the description for you to reach out and ask any questions that you've got, but you will be blown away with the kind of service that we're going to be offering. I'm really excited. I cannot wait. 2023 is going to be a big year.